So guys, it's review time, and we're going to be looking at the knife that you see on the table today. This is a Boker Albatros. I don't know if you've heard of this knife, but it's been out for a few months now, and it's in Boker's Plus line, so it's made overseas, but pretty cool knife. Comes in this, dare I say, bougie box, kind of like cardboard with foam. It's really not that fancy, but I guess it's nicer than your average box. And it comes with a pivot adjustment tool right here, and some papers and a language I don't know. But yeah, let's take a look at the knife. This is a short knife. Put the specs down in the description bar, but you can see my whole hand will fit the knife. This is a short, chubby knife. Let's compare thicknesses. Look at the blade difference between. This is a Dragonfly too, but look at the blade difference. Here's a Strider PT, which I consider pretty chunky. Yeah, it's like twice as thick. This stuff is ridiculous. This is VG10 right here. This is like 2.5 inches of VG10 or something, but it's just thick VG10. Look at that. That's one solid blade. Backing it up, you got, it looks like they're thin, but they're actually pretty hefty TI handles. And so it's just a small TI frame lock, basically. Pretty cool knife. I'd probably put it in the EDC category. I don't really see what else it can do, but despite being such a short knife, if you really want to, if you can scrunch up, you can put 4 fingers, but very realistically, it's a 3-finger knife. And for something really this heavy, doesn't really make sense to me. It's just so overbuilt for something its size. It just doesn't make logical sense to me. So, despite this being like a cool knife to have, it's not really something I'd consider super practical. You can still do a lot of EDC tasks with it. It's got a nice blade shape, you can see. Sort of a drop point, I guess, with a huge amount of belly. Look at that. Boker Plus, and I think it says Onzo up here. Nice, decent grind. It's flat ground from about 2/3, but the problem is the blade starts so thick that despite it being flat ground from pretty high up, the edge is still pretty thick. It will cut though, it's pretty sharp from factory. This has a serial number, 0216. You got a nice, pretty unique grind. Got a secondary grind here. It's a pretty cool blade, but it's just too chunky. If you couldn't tell, for the length, the knife is pretty tall this way too. If you take something roughly the same size, you can see how thin the Dragonfly is compared to it. But even something like the Strider PT here, you can see how much taller it is. And this is the mini grip. So this is basically like a short, fat blade in every dimension. It's lacking in every dimension except, well, it's, what am I saying? It's not lacking in any dimension except for length, and that's one weird thing. Blade is a nice stonewash VG10. It's a nice bright finish. Flex light pretty cool, and the handle's kind of like a TI finish, sort of like the Sebenzas. Maybe like a light stonewash. Looks pretty nice. If you've ever handled a Boker Haddock, it'd be similar. Got a clip right here. 2-position, tip up, tip down. Works decent. I mean, the knife is really heavy. It's 6.0 ounces for something this short. 6.0 ounces. I usually want a knife like 3.5-inch blade. So this is really that very chunky. Quality's good. Lockup is basically perfect. Action is smooth, and lock bar is not sticky. And it seems like a pretty solid lockup. You can see there, it locks up pretty early too. You can actually choke up on it if you want. You can put your 3rd, 4th fingers like this, and your 2nd actually on the flat part of the blade here. And I can use it without really worrying about danger of cutting myself like here or something. Overall, though, the Boker Albatros is a pretty cool new design from both Zanzo and Boker. The only thing is that it's not really practical to me. If you like it as a collector, if you like it because you really like TI frame locks, or for several other different reasons, this will be a pretty cool knife to get. Price is about $100. If you look around, you can find it for maybe $90 or so. And for that, I do think it's a good price. It's a nice, solid, chunky TI frame lock for less than $100 with VG10 steel. So that's not really the worry. It's just kind of I don't know. It's too tall. It's too thick. The blade's too thick. The whole thing is just kind of out of proportion. But it's definitely a cool knife. Kind of looks like an Albatross, I guess. But compared to much sleeker, slimmer design, sort of like the PT and the mini grip, I don't know how you could choose this guy. But if you want something that you can absolutely abuse, but you want something that's also small at the same time, I guess this could be like right down your alley. But yeah, definitely a good knife for the money. It's just in terms of practicality, I don't know how far it would go, but since when do we even use knives for practical reasons anyways as collectors? But that's the Boker Albatros. Final verdict, don't get it if you want something purely to EDC, but if you want something that meets your specifications and this looks like it, then maybe this could be the one for you. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.